Today, we'll be exploring South Korean feelings toward neighboring North Koreans. By means of several movie clips through the mainly South Korean lens, we will focus on tactics movie directors use to portray North Koreans as power-greedy, untrustworthy, and cruel creatures. In the end, we will compare these dour descriptions with those of contrasting American Opinion, which portrays North Koreans in a more humorous and comical manner. Our first movie is Taegukgi, Brother of War. This historic and famous Korean blockbuster film depicts the lives and tragedies of South Korean soldiers during the Korean War. Although South Korean soldiers are viewed as unfortunate souls who fought their hardest to return home, North Korean soldiers are portrayed as inhumane and cheap animals who have no morals, even though that may not have been true in real life. This specific scene shows South Korean soldiers fighting hard in the trenches against soldiers of the North. At one point, a pinned-down North Korean soldier begs a South Korean soldier to show mercy. As shown in the movie, the generous South Korean soldier lets his emotion take over and frees the enemy soldier from his grasp. However, almost instantly in response, the North Korean lashes out, attempting to attack and kill the soldier who showed him mercy and generosity in the first place. This is a clear representation of the evil image the South Korean movie industry and people have of their fellow neighbors. North Koreans are portrayed to be traitors to even those who extend a helping and forgiving hand. The movie also contains a scene in which South Korean soldiers traverse across a town. However, the village is mute because North Korean soldiers had already gone through and killed all civilians in sight. In addition, although it is too violent to show, the North Korean soldiers surgically placed explosives in the limp bodies so that when the South Koreans moved them out of the way, the explosions would kill them as well. The shrieks and agony of South Korean soldiers are harrowing and chilling to viewers. There is no doubt that in addition to an image as traitors, soldiers and people of the North are also depicted to be barbaric and ruthless people with no sympathy for the fearful and innocent bystanders experiencing the war.
Hello. The South Korean movie Secretly Greatly portrays a violent and morbid mood among North Korean spies. In the movie, North Korea is seen as a place of poverty, where the government only uses money to develop its military and take over its southern counterpart. The South Korean citizens are depicted as loving and caring individuals, while the North Koreans seem to be very ordinary citizens, but are secretly plotting to bring harm to South Korea. North Korean children are taken from their families early on in their lives and are trained to become efficient and cold-blooded killers in the 5446 Corps. The environment and the methods used on these children are inhumane and brutal, for they stab statues all day long and are supposed to view each other as enemies.
잔인하다. 그런 감정 따윈 없었다.
This movie exaggerated the difference in the learning of the children to emphasize the difference in the education they receive.
조장들의 판정에서 목숨 걸 필요까지는 없다.
After they are taught the techniques needed to kill, the agents are sent to South Korea and learn to assimilate in South Korean culture. In addition to their skills, the North Korean government have brainwashed the agents into mindlessly following the orders of their superiors despite being in South Korea. This clip shows how disciplined and loyal the North Korean spies are. These spies had a choice to ignore the order and live on their South Korean lives. However, all these spies, except for 3, all committed suicide, and some go even further to kill their comrades as well. It adds on to the stereotype that North Koreans are mindless killers who are capable and willing to do anything for their country.
조국 통일 만세.
These clips also show just how many North Korean spies were present in South Korea, for there were taxi drivers and normal workers as well, which adds on to the stereotype that South Koreans fear the North Koreans present in South Korea.
Extending the scope of our analysis, the portrayal of the Western view of North Koreans can be seen as completely different. In fact, it can be seen as absurd. For example, take the recent Hollywood hit The Interview. The movie was planned to portray an obscene North Korean image and convey numerous stereotypes that may or may not be true. As a response, real-life North Korean officials threatened to hack and attack Sony if the movie was released. The eventual release of the movie supports the assertion that the American public does not take North Korea seriously or fears them, and possibly reviews the regime to be somewhat laughable. However, this comedy film can be said to have a deeper meaning, which is that North Koreans are people who do no good or care about their own people. The movie consists of well-known numerous humorous scenes. The movie also shows more disturbing and serious ones as well. Near the end or climax of the movie, the characters discover that the grocery store, which North Korea claimed to provide an abundance of food for the village, had an aisle backdrop and a supply of cardboard fruit. Such portrayals of North Korea substantiate stereotypes Western people have of North Korean poverty and starvation, and also criticizes the regime for lying to the public. In conclusion, it is evident that the Korean War has left a lasting impact upon the South Korean people, shown by the feelings of animosity toward their fellow neighbors, even 65 years after war and separation. From the movies produced, it can be assumed that South Korean people still have a pessimistic image of North Koreans. Although the movies from Western culture portray North Koreans from a more humorous standpoint, the stereotypical feelings of animosity and hatred are still prevalent in both cultures.